What's up? Do you want to hear about the time I stabbed myself with a knife? I've even got the scar. Check it out. Can you check it out? No, not really. You'll see it in a little bit though. I'll show it in better lighting. So it's true. I got stabbed with a knife and it was myself who did it. There. You can see it a little bit better. There you go. You see that scar there. So I was in high school when it happened. I was in matric. I took maths lit. Whoever wants to make fun of me, please go ahead. Leave a comment saying, ha, yeah, you took maths lit. You're damn right I took maths lit. And maths lit was an easy pass. An easy A, almost said, but I still got 79%. High school was not a big deal for me. So I was in maths lit class and we had to make a board game. I don't remember what the maths side of it was. Everyone's gonna make fun of that now. Oh, you having so much fun in maths lit, you're making a board game. Yeah, you're damn right we did. And it was so much fun. Maths lit was such a cool class. We could jam to our music, put our earphones in, and do our work. It was so good. And our teacher was also really freaking awesome. We went there one morning. It was a cold morning. So we were all wearing our blazers and stuff like that. We went to start making our board game. We had to cut up pieces of cardboard and stuff like that. So we started cutting them up with scissors and stuff. And then there was this one box that was too heavy. I don't even remember what our game was about. But I remember that our packaging for the game was that we could fold it in. And I had a big fight with the dude I was working with because he was like, you didn't bring a box. And I was like, but dude, the box folds in, and he just wasn't listening. And that sucks because he was actually my bromance at that time. And because of that, we had a falling out. That's always how the bromance relationships work. You know, you have such a bro, and then something so stupid and arbitrary will happen. Sometimes not, sometimes it's a car crash, but sometimes it's completely stupid like this, and then you just don't really talk. We were cutting up the board using our scissors, and this one board was not cutting up, this one box. I don't know if I should use names yet or not on the channel. I don't know if that works. He went and got a knife from one of the other people in the class. I think it was a girl actually. Obviously it wasn't a knife, it was an art knife, but it was a knife. The purpose of it wasn't for stabbing people, it was for art. Okay, it was for cutting up boxes that couldn't be cut with scissors and stuff. He brought me the knife, and me being me, for some reason I took the knife and I was like, cool, I'm gonna start cutting the box. I was cutting it, and this box was just not giving in. So then I kind of put the knife at an angle and I scraped it down. As I scraped it down, the edge of the knife came out, broke off, and my hand went into it. I then had this bleeding hand, and of course me being the big shot, you know, Mr. Badass who doesn't give. I'm in pain that I was in high school. Now I'm still the same, but in a very different manner. You know, I was like, I don't need to worry about pain, blah, blah, blah. So I just had this knife tip in my hand. And when I say a knife tip, like, it was probably that long, had gone in my hand, and it was sticking out like this little bit. So this much. So it was basically, when I pointed out, it's actually freaking crazy. And then I was like, this has happened. What do I do now? And I'm just sitting there spewing blood in the class. No one around me has noticed. The dude I'm working with is just staring like... I'm also staring. I'm just like, that's happening. And then I realize I kick into gear and I realize I have to do something about it because this is not gonna stop. I need to take this thing out, but then what's gonna happen? I then just quickly cover it up because I don't want people to notice. I tell my partner, I tell him to tell the teacher I've just gone to the bathroom quickly, and he could say that it was an emergency if she needed to hear that, but she didn't. She was really cool. So I then run to the bathroom and I'm like, what do I do about this? I then start slowly pulling the knife out, realizing that's not working because it's sore, dude. I have a knife in my hand, so pulling it out slowly like this is not working because it's now cutting deeper and deeper on each side. I get it far out enough that I then just grab the tip and just hoist it out. Splish, splish. What have I done? Rush back to the classroom just to let them know where I am. I don't think anyone in the class has noticed. Everyone's doing their own mission. The teachers clearly noticed because I'm now holding my hand like this, and blood is just dripping and dripping, and I've got toilet paper everywhere, and I'm just like, ma'am, I'm just gonna go to the nurse's office quickly. And she just stares at me and just... So I then just quickly rush off, leave my partner to do his own thing, leave the class behind, rush to the nurse. She didn't have stitches, so she quickly just pulled it together and put these plasters. She said they were like stitches, but they're plasters instead. They did not work. This thing, within 10 minutes, these plasters were ripping off. Luckily, it was the last class of the day, and it was at the end of the class that this happened. Literally, it was like 10 minutes. So I then went through the motions for the 10 minutes, going to the bathroom, going to the teachers, going to the nurses, having her put this stuff on. I could see they weren't going to hold, but I was like, thank you, ma'am. And I just left, and I was just watching it. So I was like, I wonder how long this is gonna be. And then my dad arrived, and I go to him. I literally leave. I don't even do anything. I just go pick up my bags and I leave. I went, and my dad was punctual, thank God. I climb into his car. He had a nice Audi, by the way. I show him this, and he says, holy shit, let's go to the hospital. I think we were making our way there, but then it opened up, or it started opening up. So we then had to go somewhere close. So we then went to a doctor's office. Oh, that's right. We weren't actually going to hospital. We thought, my dad at least thought it was going to hold. I was like, there's no way this is going to hold. But he was like, it'll hold. We were going to get to his house. And then, because there was a bit of a journey from my high school to both the houses I stayed at because my parents are divorced. We were closing in on his neighborhood, and then it started opening up again. I was like, hey, Dad, what did I tell you? Okay, cool. Rush to the doctor's office. They then had to make special arrangements for me to deal with this thing. I don't know how deep it was. I didn't think it was that big a deal, but they moved people out of a room, put me in a room, lay me down to make sure I wasn't going to pass out, took the whatever was left of those broken plasters off of me, and just started stitching me. They started stitching me as they put the injection, the anesthetic. So long story short, they stitch me up. I have a cool scar at the end of it. I get back the next day just to have the dude yelling at me, my bromance dude, yelling at me that I didn't bring a fucking box. Are you serious that I must bring a box? Look at our project also. It folds in. Like, this was cool. This was a cool idea. Nobody else in the class had done it. Everyone had brought a box, but we didn't need to. We could pack it like this. It is what it is though. It's all good. This recovered. It healed nicely. It's one of the few scars I have. I have a lot of stories like this, and I don't have a lot of scars to tell. My skin heals really nicely actually, but this is one of the few scars that did, but it makes sense because it was pretty deep and it was a nice clean cut with a knife. It's cool to have a scar as well. I don't have many of those. So that is the time that I stabbed myself with a knife. Let me know if you've ever been stabbed with a knife, or even if you've ever stabbed yourself with a knife, and I'll see you in the next video.